Let's look at factoring trinomials. Here I have a trinomial and we're going to factor it. But first, let's talk about what that means and where it came from. So first of all, I want you to recall an important concept. The idea that if I have a binomial and I multiply it with another binomial, what happens? Well, let's see. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. 1 times x is 1x. And 1 times 2 is 2. Combining or simplifying here, I get a trinomial. These two middle terms combine to make 3x. All right, so if I had two binomials and I multiplied, I wound up with a trinomial. Well, when you have a trinomial and they ask you to factor, what they're saying is, can you come up with the two binomials that made that? So you're undoing it. You're thinking backwards, and that's what makes it a little trickier. Just like multiplication was one thing in elementary school, and division was a little more complicated because you had to try out numbers and you didn't necessarily know if they were going to work. Well, it's the same thing here. We have to divide, we have to think backwards. So here's what I mean. Step one is to write those parentheses because that's where it comes from. We know that. Go ahead and go to the first term here and take it apart. Split it back up. Undistribute that. What two things made x squared? Well, we must have had an x times an x. The good news is you're halfway finished. The next step, though, is to kind of skip this middle term for a moment and come way down here to the last term and split that up. And this is what makes it a little tricky. The question is, what two numbers would multiply to make that last term? Well, 3 times 1, so that's pretty easy. But the question is, do these two numbers tend to add up to the middle term? Sometimes they won't. This one, luckily, if they were both positive, they would indeed add up to the middle term. So this is going to be these are going to be your two numbers, your positive 3 and your positive 1. Does it matter the order you write them? No, it doesn't, because multiplication is commutative. You can put the 1 here and the 3 there, and it's the same answer. And by the way, this is the answer to that particular problem. These two binomials, they are the factors that made that trinomial, right? We have factor number 1 is right here, and factor number 2. Those are the two pieces that made that. So that's what you're doing when you're factoring. One of the things that can empower you or help you to realize it's not so bad is you can check your answers for factoring. You should know if you are correct before you submit your answer, because you can multiply this, distribute, and you should get the original trinomial. That's a good check.